What's up, fellas? So I'm finna react to this little uh, thing that then came out about the Diddy trial, and I'm finna explain to y'all why Diddy gonna get off.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julia Janae. Thank you for following along with us this afternoon. We begin this hour in New York City, where the jury has been deliberating the fate of Sean Diddy Combs almost an hour, 2 hours rather, and a half at this point. The disgraced music mogul, he stands accused of using his fame and fortune to run a criminal enterprise involving coercion, violence, sex trafficking, and more. But the defense says the evidence only shows that Combs lived a swinger's lifestyle, that he created a, quote, wonderful, sophisticated, and real businesses that have stood the test of time. So what will a jury think? This verdict form that they have comes with some complexity. So let's break down exactly what they are deliberating over. First, the government's umbrella case, count one, is racketeering conspiracy, and under it these jurors have to decide if any of the predicate acts have been proven by the state, and they only have to prove that at least one of them happened at least 2 times. So we have
The first thing they don't understand about this trial, guys, is it's not about the evidence. It's not about guilty or innocence. I'm gonna explain to y'all what this trial is about.
Kidnapping, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and possession or distribution of narcotics, drug charges. So all of that falls under just count one. If they find that at least one of these happened at least 2 times, then they can find him guilty of.
They making the same thing. They making the same mistake that the folks who tried O.J. Simpson, the same mistake that they made. They make they making the same mistake. They think this is about evidence.
Of count one. So let's move to the next page, which is counts 2 through 5. 5 charges in total against Sean Diddy Combs. And what we have is between these 2 different types of charges, we have transportation for prostitution in relation to the 2 alleged victims. We have Jane and Cassie. Jane, of course, was a pseudonym that was set up for this witness to be someone who is not identified by the public. But Cassie Ventura, of course, that second one. So we have transportation and sex trafficking, both charges for both of those victims underneath. And we want to update you on this breaking news that is happening inside of the federal courthouse. Let's bring in Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft. Kelly, you have the latest on this jury note. It sounds like there may be already some infighting inside of that deliberation room.
Well, hi there, Julia. Such an interesting development in the federal courthouse behind me. So it was just around 1 o'clock. There started to be some movement, and we began to hear that there was a juror note. So, of course, when that happens, everyone hurries back inside the courthouse to hear what the note is going to be, what it's going to say. So everyone began to...
For all you guys that don't know, they got to get all 12 of them to convict or as a mistrial. When you see one person, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing they're going to be able to say that's going to be able to probably change that person's mind. I'm going to tell you that right now. Whatever it is, I'm telling you right now.
Together. It took about a half hour, a little bit longer for everyone to make their way back into the courtroom, the attorneys, all the parties involved. And then we heard what the note said. The judge read it aloud. We have a full screen made for you so everyone gets a chance to see exactly what the jury note said. It says, we have a juror number 25, who we are concerned cannot follow your honor's instructions. The foreperson then asked to speak with the judge or that particular juror be interviewed. So what do we know about juror number 25? We know he's male. We know he is a scientist. We know that during the jury selection process that he had told both sides that he had seen that hotel video in which Sean Diddy Combs is seen assaulting Cassie Ventura. This is inside the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. He had said that he did see that video, and he also said, Julia, that he had formed an opinion about that particular video. But then he was very clear that he was able to set his opinion aside to be able to go forward and have a fair, impartial look at this entire case. But now we're having a situation where this same juror now, according to the note that was just sent out, is not following those instructions. And so what did the judge end up saying? How did he handle this situation? He sent them back and said, you are supposed to follow the jury instructions, go back and continue deliberating. So that is where we stand.
So more than likely, if I had to guess on that aspect, guys, I'm gonna go on a limb and say the judge probably told them to disregard something like you know, I know you just saw this on something, you know, and the judge will say, when y'all ever watch court cases where the judge will say strike that from the record, then that means the juror's supposed to act like they didn't hear that. Like, you know, so I can almost guarantee it's probably one of those situations where that person is back there bringing that up and the judge told them, hey, you know, that don't count, that don't matter, that don't weigh that in. Jurors don't take that into account, and this juror probably went right back there talking about whatever the judge told them not to do. I can almost guarantee you that's what's going on with that.
And right now, Julia, with that big development here in court, how that's going to proceed, we'll have to wait and see. Because if you have a juror that's unwilling to follow instructions this soon in, of course, that's a big disruption when you have to go through such a long, the jury instructions are huge in this case. And if you have a juror who's unwilling to go through those and participate and really give a thoughtful, deliberate process in regard to deciding a man's fate, that's going to be an issue. We'll have to see if there's any more developments in regard to that. I know we also have a jury full screen. We can just kind of tell you in general more about the jury. So, of course, this is a 12-member juror, as usual, and they have to come up with a unanimous agreement in order to find Sean Diddy Combs guilty of these charges. So we see that here. This is 12 jurors, and we also can kind of go through and tell you a little bit about what that makeup is when we have the jury here. So we have 8 men on the jury.
That's why Diddy's going to get off right there. So, there was this documentary. I think ABC the one had the O.J. Simpson documentary. At the beginning of that O.J. Simpson documentary, they were talking about, they was showing all the past things that had happened in L.A., the Rodney King verdict. It was this little girl who got shot in the back, and the lady who owned the shop, it was a Japanese lady, Asian lady, she got off. So basically, this documentary was showing what led up to the jury finding O.J. Simpson not guilty. What these people who don't understand about this trial is that a lot of men seeing what's going on in society with feminism and lack of accountability for women. These are the same guys that saw, what was this guy's name? What's his name? Hold on. Let me look up his name real quick. His name was Jonathan Majors. Saw Jonathan Majors running down the street like FloJo from a woman, still got charged. So these men, I bet you 1 or 2 of these men probably paying child support, probably divorced, lost half their shit in divorce, probably ain't got proper visitation rights to their kids. All it takes is one. Now, I don't know if Diddy will get off, like found not guilty, but you're going to at least look at a mistrial. Because I'm telling you, having this many men, one of them is not going to be like what they seeing going on with society. I can promise you. Listen, all 8 of these men might hate Diddy, but they probably hate feminism more. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you right now, the same way OJ had all those black jurors for his trial and why he got off, is the exact same reason why Diddy going to get off. The only thing that's a cause for concern for Diddy is it is in New York and it's a very liberal state, right? So that could be an issue. But even with that, I can almost guarantee you out of 8 fucking men, one of them, all it takes is one of them to just be like, you know what, I'm tired of the lack of accountability with women. I'm tired of the way men are getting screwed. So basically, guys, the O.J. Simpson jurors, they basically wanted to stick it to the system, right? With all the shit that had went on and stuff. If y'all guys watched that documentary, O.J. Simpson, they wanted to just stick it to the system, like, because they felt like a lot of black people got some bad treatment, some bad breaks, right? I think that's what's going to happen with Diddy. Now, obviously, the federal government don't run out of money, so they'll retry him. But they better not they better not have this many. If he gets a mistrial, they better not put this many men on it again, on the jury again. Because I'm telling you, they not going to go for it. You're going to put that many men, he going to be found, it's at least going to be a mistrial. I don't think he'll get acquitted because, you know, it's too many women on the jury for him to be acquitted. But I bet he get a mistrial.
Jury. So there are 8 men on the jury. There are 4 women on the jury. Of course, this particular juror we're talking about is a man. This is juror number 25 that we were talking about earlier. We also have a further makeup that we can share.
Now, that man might be anti-Diddy. He might be against Diddy. So I'm not even concerned with him. That's one man. I'm talking about out of this 8, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that all 8 of them men going to find Diddy guilty. Whether he guilty or not, it's not about that. The same with O.J. Simpson. It was not about him being guilty. It was deeper than that. It goes all the way back. O.J. got off for Emmett Till, all that, Medgar Evers, all that. That's why O.J. got off. They could have had a video of O.J., and I'm telling you that he was going to get off. And what I'm telling you right here is, with 8 men, you mean to tell me all it takes is one of these guys to not like what's going on and seeing all the stuff that's going on with the courts and stuff? I am telling you, this is going to be a mistrial at the very least. All right, guys. So that's what I'm looking at it, guys. We'll see if I'm going to be proven right. But that's what I see. I don't see him probably walking free, though. Not with this men and women. Guys, his conviction is going to be based off what this jury is made of. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's what this is going to be based off of. If he probably, as long as he got women on this jury, he'll probably never be acquitted. But as long as he got like a fair amount of men, he'll never be proven guilty either. Now, he can be proven guilty if it wasn't like no gray areas, right? Like, let's just say it was like rock solid, done. Okay, maybe the men say, you know what, man, I can't even defend this. But how a lot of men gonna look at this is they gonna look at these women as willing participants. Diddy. So guys, this how I think a lot of the men gonna look at it. Being generous with women you're dating and in them engaging in swingers and stuff. Guys, do y'all guys know how many rich men would be in jail? So if Diddy has girls that he gives an allowance to, they're trying to say the women that Diddy were dating, these are women Diddy dating. So it goes like this, guys. Diddy isn't like having random people that he just picking off the street. What Diddy is, he's generous, right? He's a generous guy that's tricking. So the gray area is, where do we draw the line on a man can be generous with women he's dating versus just paying for sex? And that's where the line is. So if you're a rich guy and you have hundreds of millions of dollars and you want to take women shopping and this, that, and that, you can't tell me how generous to be with my money. You can't tell me that I'm buying them just because I bought her a car. I can be generous. It's my money. So if I'm fucking them and I got 30 girlfriends and I'm fucking them and I take them shopping or I want to give her 10 G's, but I'm in a non-exclusive relationship, that's where the gray line draws at. And so that's why I think he's going to get off. Because how I'm thinking is Diddy's in several non-exclusive sexual relationships and he's generous. That's how I'm looking at it. So you're gonna have a blurry line here, because you mean to tell me if I'm a guy in Atlanta and I got a girlfriend in California, you mean to tell me I can't fly her here and we go out, we date and we have sex and I'm generous with her and I say, here baby, here go 5 G's, you can go shopping when you get back home or whatever. You mean to tell me I can't do that just because she crossed state lines? You mean to tell me just because I got a long distance relationship, I can't be generous? That don't even make sense. So whether you agree with the lifestyle or not, or him being a freak, you can't tell a man how to be generous with his money. You have guys out here who are tricks, who they don't mind giving women money just because they can. Just the way it is. All right, guys. So that's why I think he's going to get off. I'll get back with you guys later.